Hey, how's it going? I figured I'd make a video of building a trailer ramp. I'm going to be doing a bifold, replace my old one. That's what I used to have on there. Just too short. Makes me real steep on my trailer, so already got started in the process. And I always forget to film stuff that I do, so I've already made a few cuts, got most of it done. Just got a couple more cuts to do on some square tubing, but made my ramp at least 71 inches wide. Cut them at 45s, and then got 2.5 foot square tubing on the side. Then we'll put 2 more pieces of tubing in the center of each one. And I got a couple hinges that I'm going to put down on that ramp, weld them down. So I got these hinges. Just weld them on like that. Then I'm going to get a flat strap and weld it on there, or cut some kind of angle iron. That way I can just cut a hole through it, and then when you fold up the trailer, it'll go through this pin. Well, the FedEx guy showed up, so went out there and got my new blade. But this is how it's gonna work. Have a handle, you'll pull up and it'll fold up. Perfect on the trailer, won't be so high, looking ridiculous. Made all my cuts with this Evolution miter saw. This cuts like butter, can't complain. What I got in the mail was a multi-purpose blade that cuts steel, aluminum, wood, and plastic. That way I can use my saw for cutting wood. So next I got is cutting my square tubing for the inner braces on this ramp, make it a little bit more sturdy. Let's get to it. Let's go see if this fits. Well, that's 26 inches in the inside. Make 4 more of those, or 3 more. And we'll be starting to weld it together after we clean it all up. That's the benefits of cutting with a mild steel blade instead of a bracer. Alright, so that's pretty much what it's gonna look like. I just gotta go buy me some expanded metal. That way I can put on it. And then on the bottom here, what's gonna be on the ground is this 2-inch angle iron. Get it all welded together. But next I'm gonna wire wheel all of this, clean it up, make it look pretty, and then weld it together, and probably gonna paint it even though it won't match the trailer. That way it'll last longer. So that's what we're on next. Alright, now that I got everything cleaned up, time to square it all up and weld it together. See how that goes. Now I got one part of the ramp done, welded it all together, and then I grinded down the weld so it'll sit more flush when I put the expanded metal on. Hopefully it'll make it a little bit easier to weld on. So let's get the expanded metal on here, mark it up and cut it out and weld it on here. Now I got it on here, I'll use my paint marker. I'll just make a mark where I want to make my cut and follow it all the way up to the very end. And the same here, just gotta follow the pattern, cutting all the way down. So let's knock it out. So how I'm cutting this side is, if you can see, cutting underneath this ridge, right in there, that little space. That way I still have this full piece right here to weld down. Figured I'd just show you how I was cutting this side. This one's easier because I can just cut right down the middle. Ain't too hard. Alright, got half the ramp done. So, got the expanded metal welded on. Did every 2 notches all the way around the edges. Just whatever looked the most even. And then the centers, I did every 3. And it ain't gonna go nowhere. Pretty sturdy. So, time to work on the next one. Alright, now it's time to put the hinges on. Got 3 hinges. We'll place them in. I'm gonna tack them first, then see if it works and folds smoothly. And if it does, then I'll fully weld them on. But over here, my hinge is hitting these welds, so I'm gonna grind these welds down, smooth them out so I can get this hinge flat. So, let's knock it out. Alright, it's fully welded together, hinges and everything. When I tacked it together, I tried it and it worked, and hopefully welding everything down didn't warp anything, and it still works like it's supposed to. So let's see. I'd say that's pretty good. Alright, now it's time to get my hinge on the trailer welded on my ramp. That's going to be kind of a tricky one, but we'll see if we can get it done. What I'm going to do is take these old little pipes off, cut it off, cut this one off, and I'm going to weld it to where it'll fit in here. But it's pretty tight fit, so let's see if we can get it done in one try. Alright, finally got my trailer done. Got the hinges welded on my ramp. Just these pipe here. What I ended up doing was laying the edge of my ramp over my trailer, get the idea, marked it with a paint marker, and then tacked it on my ramp. Then I tried to put my pins in. This side went in easy, and this one was a little difficult, so I ended up having to cut my tacks. But I had the ramp close enough to the trailer that I was able to just slide the pin all the way in, and then tack it onto my ramp from here, and then slide the pins out, stand it up, and then I welded it up while it was standing. A little bit easier to get to both sides. So I did about 2-inch welds on each end, and here's just where all of my tacks were. So next thing I got is to start painting it, and then I'll be able to put it on, call it a day. After I do, more than likely I'm going to put some holes here. Got some pins. Make a hole where I can slide this through, and then that's how I'm going to attach my ramp when it's folded up to the trailer. Be something like this. Put some metal flat straps on the ends. Also give me a handle so it's easier to lift. But we're gonna get it. Alright, I got rained out earlier, so I put the trailer inside the shop, and then I started again after it quit raining, and forgot to film it. So far I've gotten the latch made. Just cut the ends off of this C channel and bent it at 90 degrees, did a weld, and now it latches. Had a strap holding it, no longer need it. So next thing I'm gonna work on is putting a handle here so you can lift up this ramp, help it fold up. That way you ain't gotta smash your fingers. So let's get it. So what I'm gonna do is take this bar I got. We're gonna go over here to my Evolution miter saw, and we're gonna cut at least, so what we got here, so we got this bar, so I'm gonna do 5 inches and then 2 on each end. That gives that depth so you can easily put your hand inside there, and it's wide enough that you don't have your hand all cramped. So let's get it going. I need to find my marker. So we got 5 inches and 2 on one side, 2 on the other, total of 9. Make our mark. Alright, got it measured out. It's not gonna work. Might have to rotate it around. See if that'll do any better. Just help push that bar down so we don't dull my blade. Check what we got. That's good. Alright, everything's tight. Let's make our cut. They're good. Not too bad. Well, there's 2 inches from this end. I'll measure 2 from here. Not too sure how this is gonna go, but we're about to find out. First, sip of beer. boogie. This is the C channeling I was talking about. I just cut these ends off about 2 inches. That'd be the side that I weld on. I'm gonna bend it backwards 90 degrees. First, last time I had it bent, I had a little trouble drilling the hole, so let's try to drill the hole before we bend it. But now thinking about it, I need to bend it so I can verify that it lines up with my pin on my trailer. So let's go ahead and bend it. Verify where we're gonna put the hole. So, like that. Now it's time to paint my trailer ramp. So what I'm gonna be using is Rust-Oleum 2x primer. That way I ain't gotta do 100 coats of it. And then I'll finish it off with this black enamel paint, high performance. It's supposed to be heavy duty, see if it lasts long. So let's get it. Now here's the final look of my bifold trailer ramp that I made. Looks pretty good.